Hey guys, it's Marcus here. If you can hear me okay, please let me know by typing something in the chat box on the side of the screen. And we're going to get started here in just a minute with the special topic of, can you think yourself rich? Which is interesting, right? We see this as the topic of many books, many videos, many self-help titles, and everything. Like the idea of, can I think my way rich? Now, while I will admit to you that internet marketing and business and all this stuff, success, is 99.9% a mental game, I don't think some of these books are on the right track, and we're going to talk to you about why, and we're going to talk to you about all the differences in the mindsets that people have about money. And what I did is I made some notes last night of I think we have 14 different money mindsets and different poor mindsets to help you guys, it's actually 13, to help you guys get in the right state of mind to understand this stuff. Because when we look at it, when I don't make as much as I want, it's usually because my mental game is off. Like right now, you guys know I haven't been doing a lot of webinars, haven't been doing a lot of stuff lately. Personally, my mental game has been off, so this is going to be an interesting live training because here I am sitting here and I need this stuff for myself. Okay, it's not like I'm, having trouble or anything. It's just, hey, you know what? I need to get back and I need to get focused and I need to understand what's going on because sometimes we're like an airplane, right? If you ever watch an airplane, and my wire would be cool here. If you ever watch an airplane from the dashboard, right, what happens on the dashboard is you set the airplane on autopilot. And let's say you're going from Miami to San Diego, right? And you set it for like 2,500 miles or whatever that is. And you set it and the plane goes up. And then all the while, it's not going perfectly straight in a line. What's happening is the plane's going a little bit this way, and then it corrects it back this way. Goes a little this way, and it corrects it back this way, right? But it has that line of sight that it wants to stay on to travel where it wants to go. So what we need to do is we need to look at that line of sight and say, what does that line of sight look like in our mind? What is that line of sight saying? What is the beliefs, the mindsets, and the attitudes in that line of sight? Because if you're over here and you have the wrong line of sight, you're going to end up in the wrong direction. Even if you go this way and correct and go this way and correct, your line of sight is still way off, right? And one of the reasons that I've been successful or mildly successful or successful for myself, right? A lot of people have made way more. Some people have made way less. Doesn't matter. What matters, again, is your line of sight and your values of what you want. So we got to look at that. And the reason that I've been able to stay in line with some of my stuff is because of some of the beliefs and things that I've had. Now, I do want to talk to you on a personal level about what's kind of happened with me. Now, over the years, I've had 3 major mindset belief shifts in my life. Right, one of them happened when I was about, I think it was 15 or 16, and I was going through a tough time. A lot of you guys know my story. My upbringing wasn't that great. I'm sure a lot of people had it a lot tougher, but for me, it was pretty bad, right? We had some issues, we had some abuse, we had all kinds of things going on. I had bullying at school, being, like less than 5 feet tall when you go into high school. Just kind of comes with the territory there. But we look at that and we're like, okay, when I was 16, I had a major fundamental life-changing, belief-changing issue, right? Another one I had when I was about 21, when I was, we were looking at having our first kid and everything was bad. And I looked at myself as a victim. I was struggling. I couldn't make money. And boom, one day I had a mindset shift and I said, I'm going to go do this. And the third mindset shift that I had in my life was when I was 34 years old and I basically went insane from drinking too much and ended up in a rehab. So these mindset shifts, I want to talk about them and I want to talk about why they're important. And we also want to talk about, you don't have to go through crazy things like I did to get those mindset shifts. You can actually engineer them now if you're paying attention and if you're listening, because a lot of times we look at that and it's like, well, Marcus, why am I not successful? Why am I not getting where I want to go? Why does this stuff not seem to be working for me? Why? And what we want to do is we want to talk about why that's happening and what's behind it. Right? Because in our life, what we have is we have different layers of things that control our mind. Okay, a lot of people say, well, the key to getting rich is control your mind. Well, here's a key. You really can't control your mind. You can only direct it. Okay, you can't really control your mind. You can only direct it. Okay, your mind's going to do what it's going to do, but it's also going to do what it's going to do based on several things. One is your cultural upbringing, right? What does your culture say about what's going on, right? If you look at a guy in the desert in a different country who's raised under a different type of system, different type of government, different type of worldview, right? They're going to have that worldview, and they're going to look at you and be like, why do you care about money? Why does it even matter? Why do you care about this? Why do you care about that? So it's different, right? And it's not that anything major has happened. They just were guided a different way through their mindset. If you look at a person here in the Western developed world, right, oftentimes we're all driven to success and money and power, and we're driven to doing things, right? Got to get a lot done, and we're kind of like busybodies, right? Does this make sense to everyone? If it does, type something in the box. Let me know you're there, and I'm going to make sure that these are catching up with us so we are on the right track. There we go. All right, cool. So we're going to take a look at that, right? Because right now, where you're at, maybe there's something in your mind that's stopping you from getting where you want to go, right? Whatever it is. Maybe you say, well, you know, Marcus, it's the guru's fault. They don't teach me enough. It's the internet's fault. It's not fair to affiliate marketers. It's money's fault because if I had money, I'd be able to make money. Okay, so we look at these things and we have to really focus on them, because what I believe is that we are all given a pretty decent chance. Like if you're on this training right now, right, you have the internet. Okay, you can't sit there and be like, well, Marcus, I don't have everything you had when you started your business. Well, here's what I had when I started your business. And what I want you to do is I want you to say check for 1, check for 2, and check for 3. Okay, when I started my business, I had less than $100 in my bank. Okay, when I started my business, that's 1. So put a 1 if you're like, yeah, you know, I got at least $100 in my bank. So you got me there. I had internet access. That's 2, right? So put 1 and 2 if you guys have both of those. I had no stable place to live. I was living in a living room of my brother's mobile home, which was like infested with drug addicts. They do come out of the walls and stuff sometimes, right? So that's what I had. I also didn't have like a privileged mindset or like a fallback plan. Okay, I barely graduated high school. There was nothing to fall back on. I couldn't look and say, well, you know, I'll just go be a lawyer or something like that, right? It was kind of like, okay, I got to do this. I didn't have a fallback plan. Okay, it was make it or break it, and I basically had a child on the way and no money, and I was like, okay, I have to do this. So do you have more than $100 in the bank or something like that? Do you have internet? Do you have a better place to live than I did? And are you going to do this, right? People would ask me, they say, Marcus, well, you know, I know this internet thing's kind of cute and fun, but what's your backup plan? And I was like, I don't have a backup plan. This either is going to work or it's going to work, right? So I looked at it and I said to myself, well, there's people making money on the internet. There's people, right? And they're not just like the super, super wealthy people, right? There's people like you and me that make money on the internet. So what is the difference between them and me? What's the difference between my wants, my needs, and my goals and what they have? Right. And so when I had these mindset shifts, one of the bigger ones was when I decided, hey, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to stop listening to other people's advice. I'm going to stop listening to what everyone says, because what you're going to notice in life is everyone's a damn expert on everything. Okay, you go tell like your mother-in-law or your father-in-law or your brother or whoever, your church friends or your drinking buddies, whoever it is, right? You tell whoever, you're like, I'm going to do this. And every one of them will give you advice on what you should do, right? They're going to say, well, you shouldn't do that because I had this buddy, Tom, and, he invested in an internet business and he lost it, right? And they're going to look at this and they're going to tell you what to do. And you're going to listen, right? 9 times out of 10, we listen to insignificant people who don't have the results that we want. Right? We listen to people that are like, you go there and you're like, I talked to my accountant about internet marketing. And I'm like, well, does she do internet marketing? Does he do internet marketing? No. Well, why are you listening to them? Right? Why are you listening? Like, I wouldn't go to the 7-Eleven and ask the guy what I should do if I'm scared I'm going to have a heart attack. I wouldn't do that. I'd go to a heart specialist, right? I'd go to someone who knows this stuff. I'd go to someone who's understanding this stuff. I wouldn't listen, like my wife has great input about stuff, but if I had a heart condition, I'd be like, hey, you know what? That's great. I know, that you know some stuff, but I'm going to go to the expert, right? So we got to look at these things, and we got to go where we need to go and really, really focus on it, because a lot of people are here and a lot of people are feeling stuck, right? How many of you guys right now, if you're honest with yourself, you're like, Marcus, I feel stuck, okay? And I'll admit it, I feel stuck right now too. Friday or Thursday, I just kind of like, I was really in a funk, and I was having a hard time, and I was like, well, I need to make a video. I haven't done stuff in weeks. And so I'm just like, I grabbed my camera, I went into the house. It's probably the poorliest shot video I've ever done, but it was done and I did it, right? And it got a good response. People are enjoying it and everything like that. So if you feel stuck, put stuck in the box, right? Maybe you're stuck and you feel like you can't get to the next level. Maybe you're stuck and you just don't feel like you understand affiliate marketing. Maybe you're stuck and you just don't know what to do. You're like, Marcus, I don't know what to do with this stuff. I don't understand it or whatever, right? And if you feel stuck, we got to look at this and we got to understand it, right? And Andy says, dude, you should have reached out. Well, that's, for me, I kind of have to go through these things on my own. And the reason being is because there's a process. Like for me, I look at it and I can't deal with a issue and work at the same time. Like for those of you who have family issues or marriage issues or money issues or whatever, and you just like put on your suit and go to work that day and you do your work, I applaud you. I can't do that, right? That's why I could never have a job, because something would happen crazy and I'm like, I need a week off. I can't deal with this. And that's just the way my mind operates. And, I go through that and it gets better. But we have to look at this and we have to be very objective. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to deal with like major family issues and still go to work, congratulations. You're probably stronger than me, right? So we got to look at that. All right. So what we want to do is we want to talk about this, and we're going to talk about what's going to get you unstuck. What is going to help you get from where you're at now to where you want to set the plane, right? Because again, in the beginning, that plane's going to have that line of sight, and it's going to be like this. I got a wire because this morning before the webinar, the dog decided to bite my internet wire, my headset wire, and the wire that controls this video camera, which is a very rare wire. Luckily, I buy like 5 of everything when I buy stuff. But here's our wire here, right? And you're going to have your line of sight, and your line of sight's here, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go from here, over here, to over here. Okay, now your line of sight is what's going to control everything. These are the beliefs that you have in your mind, right? If you have a belief that you're not good enough, if you have a belief that people are going to laugh at you, if you have a belief that it's not going to work, if you have a belief that you don't deserve it, if you have a belief that money's bad, if you have a belief that money's evil or rich people are bad or whatever it is, right, that's going to control your line of sight, and you're going to end up like this, and you're not going to get where you want to go. You might start up here and end up down here, and you're like, how did I get here? Well, you got here because of your line of sight. So what we have to do is we have to align your line of sight with the beliefs that are going to get you successful. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? We got to look at that, and we got to understand, and we got to focus. All right, EA says, I feel stuff, but I'll be unstuck if I have a blueprint that's proven to work. Well, here's the deal, EA. The blueprint's there, right? The blueprints are everywhere. Okay, I found them. I bought some of them. I found some of them. The blueprints are there. Okay, back when I started, I was at a disadvantage because people weren't teaching this stuff in the magnitude they do now. Like I could literally go to Google right now and I could type in the top 100 subject lines of 2016, 2017, and I can look at those subject lines and I can see what's working and I could duplicate what's working, right? So like when some people say success leaves clues, all right, the internet is like, not clues. The internet is like, it leaves a roadmap of completely how to get there and practically a self-driving car to take you there, right? So if you feel like you're not stuck because not enough information or whatever, I would like to challenge that today. And I'd like to say you're probably not stuck because you're not taking action on the little bit you know. All right, so when I first started internet marketing, I realized that I had a skill of being able to build websites, right? I sucked at it. They were terrible. The first website I built was an image, and it was a big image website, and this image website took forever to load because back then we used 56K. But I looked at it, and I'm like, I could build websites. They're crappy, but, people like them, so I'm going to sell them. And I took what I had then, and I turned it into money, right? What you have right now, you might say, well, Marcus, I haven't learned a lot. You know a lot more than most, Okay, you know how to be on a webinar. You know how to understand this stuff. Or like Tony says, true, I need more confidence in what I know to take action on what I can do. Right? We look at this. And am I an expert in business mindset? Well, I've been studying it since I was about 15. Expert, no. But I can make some notes and I can talk about it from personal experience. All right, so there needs to be like a level of confidence of, okay, I could put out some fairly decent content for this topic. And we got to look at that, and you got to get yourself past that fear of what's going to set up. And one of the fears so many people have is, Marcus, my website, I want you to take a look at it. And I go look at it, and I'm like, your website's not live. And they're like, yeah, I don't want to make it live yet because people will see it. I'm like, well, why? Do you think like there's some crowd of people on the internet that's waiting to look at your half-done website and laugh at you? They're not. No one gives a rip, right? Most of the people that watch my videos and stuff, they don't even remember me after a year, right? It doesn't even matter. But I'm able to take the ones that do and make money. And most people are pretty cool, and most people are like, hey, that gave me value or whatever. So there's not a group of people waiting to laugh at you. Family members and everything like that. No one told me this was going to work. I remember when I bought my first domain name, people laughed at me. They were like, what the hell's a PC money making, man? That's stupid. You should get a real job. You're a loser. You're not going to be able to do this, right? Magic and internet marketing, and you just don't know how to do it. You got to get a real job. And people still to this day tell me I should have a real job. And I'm like, well, I get a real paycheck, like a big one. So what's the problem, right? And again, everyone's going to be an expert with your money, with your ideas, with your thoughts, with your life. Do you want them to be the expert? Do you want them to control? Or do you want you to control? Because only you are in control of what you are going to do, right? What are you going to do with what you have? Right now you have knowledge. Maybe you know how to build a website. How many of you guys now know how to put up a WordPress blog? Type blog if you know how to put up a blog. All right, let's do a little test here. Okay? And I would venture to say that everyone knows how. Like if you go to gohubsite.com, you could create a website in like 5 minutes, really. So lots of people here know how to make blogs. Okay, so why are you not making more? Why are you not doing more with that? You have a skill, and not a lot of people know how to do it. I mean, some do, but some don't. And we look at that, and you know how to do that. You also know how to buy traffic, right? You could go to Google, you could make an ad, you can buy traffic right now. Everyone knows how to do that. It's self-explanatory. I got videos on it, but you really don't need videos because it's like, what's your name? What's your email? What do you want your ad to say? What's your website? And then it'll ask for your credit card number too, so you can buy ads. But that's it. Like Sam says, AdWords is confusing. Not really. It's pretty basic. It's like you pick the keyword and you get traffic from the keyword. You make your ad based on the keyword and you watch it, and it's like, there you go. Right? So if it's confusing, it's just because you're not looking at it objectively, right? There's blocks in your mind that say that this stuff is confusing because we all believe that it should be confusing. And we got to understand it, and we got to look at it. Okay? Very, very, very important. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the 13 money mindsets and poor mindsets that keep us stuck. Okay, these creep up in my life. We're going to start probably in order of ones that I have dealt with, except for number 2. I never dealt with number 2. And we're going to talk about why that's big. D. Walker says, I'm afraid to invest money, which I have little. What if it goes into nothing? Well, I had less than $100. I took 67 of it and bought a course. I took the rest of it, bought web hosting, and I literally had nothing with no paychecks, no nothing. Like I was like, that was my last $100. I either eat or make this work. Now, of course, feed your family first. I mean, come on. Make sure you can eat. But, you know, look at it, because so many people are holding on to the little bit they have that they can't possibly grow, right? If you're holding on to what little you have, your fists are not open to receive more, which is important. All right, so let's talk about these mindsets, because I think they're going to help you. Okay, now Philip says how to monetize the blog is the problem. Not really. It's all testing. It's not really hard. Guys, this stuff is not hard to do. You just got to do it. Like someone came to me months ago, and they were like, Marcus, I was on the phone with AdWords for an hour, and I was on live chat with AdWords, and I was trying to do stuff, and man, it's hard. And I'm like, so you stood on hold for an hour, and you typed the equivalent of 2 paragraphs on a keyboard, and that's hard? Really? Like, does anyone else see this besides me? Or am I just a little loopy where I'm like, This isn't that hard, right? You're clicking buttons, you're making little websites. It's not that hard to do, okay? Very important. All right, so let's take a look at these mindsets here. We got mindset number 1, which is the poor victim mindset. Now, up until the age of 34, this mindset plagued me. It still comes in from time to time today, but luckily because I changed that line of sight, I'm able to deal with it now, right? So the poor victim mindset says, I have no control, life just happens to me, and it's not fair, right? How many of us go through life saying, life just happens to me, right? It's like, someone bumps into your car and you're like, that happened to me. Well, it also happened to the other guy, right? It also happens to like 1 million people a day. But you're sitting there and you're like, this happened to me. I lost my job. Life happened to me. Well, there's lots of people losing their jobs. There's lots of people with lots of things. Health problems. Well, that just happened to me. Well, health problems happen to everyone, right? All this stuff happens to everyone. And when you pan out and you look at your world through a bigger lens and you start to see that, hey, this isn't just about me, and you kind of get over yourself, things start to change, right? So the poor mindset says, hey, I'm a victim. I have no control over my life, no control over my finances. I was dealt a raw hand, which most successful people were dealt a raw hand, with the exception of some of them. So we look at that. Now, what's the money mindset difference from that? Well, the money mindset is this, and this is my own money mindset. You could read your Think and Grow Riches and your other books about success. They're going to tell you something different. But for me, I believe this is the most freeing, and I believe it can be for you. Because, see, we have this idea that making money is a big fight and a big hustle and a big, job. You got to do stuff. You got to get out there. You got to get dirty. You got to roll up your sleeves and get busy. And that is a part of business. But that's not all there is. Because I'll bet a lot of people on here have worked their asses off trying to make this stuff work. And you're like, Marcus, I've done a lot of stuff, and it's just not working. So that's not always the right thing. So the money mindset difference of the victim is telling yourself, I don't deserve anything, right? So for me personally, Marcus, sitting here, I have a life philosophy that tells me that what I deserve is what the person that has the least on the planet has. So you take the whole world, you find the guy with the least, right? The poor kid in India who has no shoes, who has to beg for copper he digs through the garbage for copper to go and get some food for the day. That's what I deserve, right? I didn't choose to be born here, and he didn't choose to be born there. So that is what I deserve, right? We all deserve what the least has, okay? And I think this is freeing, and I think it'll understand a lot of things, and I think it'll help you, because a lot of people that are selling a lot of success mindset stuff, they're just selling it to you to make you feel better so that you make them rich. Right? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to go through these, and I think that this is going to help you. You might think I'm nuts, and that's cool. There's plenty of other success videos out there that will agree with what you say or what you think, but are they getting you where you want to go? That's the question. Is it getting you where you want to go? Right? You can read book after book after book, and if it doesn't get you where you want to go, you got to understand these things. So the money mindset is, I don't deserve anything. Right? I don't deserve anything, but I can learn whatever I want. Right? Luckily, I'm here. I can learn whatever I want. I've been given the gift of the internet. I've been given all this stuff, right? So I don't deserve anything, but I can go get pretty much whatever I want. Pretty cool. And you can use that to help the people who are less fortunate, which is another good thing that you can do. But you got to look at that, because we're either a victim, right? If you're a victim, I want you to think about that kid in India. And when you think you're a victim and you're like, the gurus don't teach me enough, I want you to send $10, $1, $50, whatever you can, right, to that kid. And do it every time. Do it every time. Be like, okay, I'm going to find a fund in India for kids that are poor, a legitimate one, and I'm going to donate $1 every time I have a victim mindset. Right? You'll get over it really quick, because you're going to think about this stuff. And pick whatever country you want. Doesn't matter. Unfortunately, there's a lot of oppression everywhere, which sucks. And I wish that wasn't the fact. But it is. So think about that. When you're a victim, it's like the old saying, right? The guy who bitched about having no shoes complained all day till he found the guy with no feet. Right? Think about that for a minute. You're sitting there and you have this, like, we look at it, and people tell me this all, like my dad tells me, those lazy people with the entitlement mentality. And I'm like, well, don't you think you're entitled? Like, you think because you pay taxes and because you have a job, you're entitled? Not really. Right? You didn't choose to be born here. You didn't choose this stuff. You just got what you got because you went out and got it. right? Do we deserve it? I don't know. That's up to the universe to decide. But the fact of the matter is you can go get it. So if you want it, go get it. But he'll tell me that stuff like, oh, the lazy people or whatever. And we got to look at it because what was it? The entitlement mindset isn't just for lazy people. It's for us too, right? Oftentimes in my business, if I got honest, I'm like, hey, I put a bunch of videos out. I should be making more than this. I should be doing this, right? I have this site. I'm Marcus Campbell. I've made a lot of money, right? And that mindset sent me to the loony bin in 2014, and I'm glad I got out of that one. But we got to look at it because we got to understand that, hey, you know what? The mindset is just what the mindset is. And we got to look at this as a whole and say, what do I want to do, and how can I help others? Does that make sense to everyone? Type your comments if that makes sense to you, if that helps you, because I think it'll help you really kill that victim mindset, whether you're a victim of internet products or whether you're a victim of learning or whatever it is. We're not a victim, right? We control the shots. We do what we want. Now, number 2, the poor mindset is people think a penny saved is a penny earned, right? If I got to hold on to what little I have, right? And we got to look at that. And we're like, I got to hold on to what little I have because I got this $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever, and I'm going to hold on to it because that's what I have. And I don't want to lose it. This is a mindset I've never had, gratefully. I don't know why I've never had it. But here's the money mindset. Money is just a tool, and it comes and goes. Now, a lot of people are looking at this, and they come to me all the time, and they're like, Marcus, I'm broke right now. I can't afford your course. And can you just give it to me? Right? I got whatever little money, and I got to use it or whatever. And what I find is that these people are perpetually broke. Okay? They're perpetually broke. It's called living paycheck to paycheck. All right? If you live paycheck to paycheck, you're perpetually broke. And it doesn't matter. It's like you are using what you have. Now, a lot of people look at paycheck to paycheck as a terrible thing. Now, paycheck to paycheck doesn't have to be a terrible thing if you're okay with it and you're like, hey, check this out. I live paycheck to paycheck, which means I'm using what I earn. It's not such a bad thing. But a lot of people look at this and they're like, I'm broke. And they're broke for like the last 20 years. And I'm like, well, you've been broke the last 20 years, and surely you could have invested in something. Like you've had times when you had money or whatever it is, right? And a lot of people are looking at that and they're like, I got to hold on to what I have. It's going to go away because they're used to holding it and it going away, and that's natural. Right? It's natural because it's a tool. It's not like a living entity that sits there and breathes in the closet, right? Money is not a real thing. It's just a unit of measurement. That's all it is. And we look at that, and our money mindset is money is just a tool. It comes and goes. It's not religious. It's not spiritual. And it's not sacred. It's just an accounting system. And we look at this because throughout our life, I mean, you turn on the TV, turn on a success channel, turn on a Bible channel, turn on whatever. And they have these absurd beliefs. Like you watch those guys, and I used to be a preacher, so sometimes I'll watch the TV preachers because I'm like, man, I'm glad I was never a preacher like that because these guys are just begging for money all the time. And it's like, if you give God $5, he's going to give you 20. And it's like, what? I'm not even giving God money. I'm giving it to you and your horse shit, right? So we look at it, and it's like, really? Really? Money's not spiritual. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Right? You look at it, and throughout time, terrible people have had lots of money. Terrible people have been very poor. Wonderful people have had lots of money. Wonderful people have been really poor. So you got to pan out. You got to look at the whole world and got to say, this isn't a spiritual thing. It's just a concept. It's an accounting concept. And to prove it's not spiritual, it was invented by man, by world. It was invented by people. Right? It's not even like something that you act like it's manna from heaven or something, and it's not. It's just dollar bills. It's pictures of presidents, and we use it as accounting, and that's it. Right? It doesn't matter. People have the craziest, weird rituals about money, and it keeps them stuck. Okay, now some people have crazy, weird rituals, and it keeps them rich, which you can adopt those if you want. We'll talk about those a little bit later too. But it's not spiritual. It's not emotional. It doesn't care about you. Right? Your bank account does not care about you. Doesn't care. You think those $10,000 or $1,000 or $1 million you got in your bank is sitting there going, I wonder how Marcus feels today? No, they're sitting there in a digital thing, a digital computer. It's a little number. That's all it is. Right? It's a little number. And you get excited when the little number grows, and you get bummed out when the little number diminishes, but nothing in your life has really changed other than a false sense of security. Kind of interesting, huh? So the money mindset is money's just a tool. It comes and goes and everything like that, right? Okay, Lisa says money has no soul. Well, Lisa, you got to watch the scene in Princess and the Frog, good movie, where the Mama Odie is doing her song, right? Good song. She talks about money having no soul. But anyway, we look at this, and we got to say, okay, so poor mindset number 3. This is a poor mindset number 3. Okay? It is the universe owes you money because you want it enough and you attract it to you. Now, this is going to step on some toes because a lot of people are like, hey, if I attract things enough or I want them enough, then I'm going to get them. Okay? That is not true. It's not true. Okay? You could want something enough, but you got to put legs on your want and you got to go get it. You got to put legs on your desire and you got to go get what you need to do by doing the work and everything. Wanting something enough is not enough to get it. I guarantee a lot of you guys want to make money online really bad. On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do you want to make money online? All right, type 100 if you're like, I want it real bad, man. I want this super bad. All right, type that in. And I'm going to try to find, I know I had a lighter around here somewhere. All right, type that in, 1 to 100. We'll get that going. Okay, a lot of hundreds plus. All right, cool. So a lot of hundreds plus. Everyone wants 100. So you guys all want to make money really bad. So why aren't you rich? Because your vision board isn't vision-y enough? Is it because you aren't doing like the kumbaya in the corner to make it come to you, like the money dance, rain dance? It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, okay? We look at it and you're like, okay, well, the law of attraction really works because everyone does it. Well, yeah, everyone does it, and there's like 5 people who get it or whatever. And there are principles that really work in the law of attraction. I'm not knocking that. But as a spiritual type thing, it's like, okay, don't really go with that. All right, so we got to look at that, okay? So the poor mindset is the universe owes you money because you want it enough and attract it to you. Okay, it's not partial. It's not partial at all, right? There's total, like, bad people who have money. That's proof that it's not partial, right? They just went and got it. There's good people who don't have money. That's there's good people who do and, everything. So it's not partial. So we got to look at that. Okay, here's the money mindset of that. I am owed nothing until I provide value to the marketplace, okay? You want to be owed money, provide value, okay? And we're going to talk about what provide value means because it's very, very, very important, okay? Sam says, I'll be significantly closer to my goal within 12 months. Why don't you do it faster? Why 12 months, right? I don't like getting rich slow. I know a lot of people are like, we got to get rich slow. We got to focus on this stuff. I don't like that. I like fast results. I'm an impatient punk when it comes to that stuff. But it works for me because I'm impatient. I'm like, I want to see results now. I want to see what it is. I want to see people click. I want to see people do stuff. I want to see people take action on my site. Right? So I want fast results. Here's the money mindset. I'm owed nothing until I provide value to the marketplace. Okay? Till I provide value to the marketplace. Money is given even to those with or without talents. Not because they deserve it or desire it, because someone somewhere saw value in giving it to them. All right, you look at this. You look at people who like get lots of money from their parents or whatever, and they're like living celebrity lives or whatever, right? Somewhere someone thought there was enough value to give them money. Mostly their parents. They were like, hey, I think there's a lot of value in giving money to my kids, so I'll do that. Okay? But we got to look at it. Somewhere someone has to, at the origin of the money, someone has to say, there's enough value to give it to you. Okay? Very important. So we got to look at that. Very important. All right. So again, money mindset. I'm owed nothing until I provide value to the marketplace. Very important. Poor mindset number 4. Hard work will make me rich. All right, there's a lot of people who do a lot of hard work. Okay? A lot of people. Just yesterday, or a couple days ago, one of my kids' friends' parents came over, and they were like, where's your dad? And they said something, oh, he's working. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's got to play Angry Birds all day. That's what he does. He gets paid to play Angry Birds. And so now I used to get insulted when people would say this because I do work for me. I work pretty decent. I wouldn't say hard, but I do work pretty decent. And it's a lot more than just playing Angry Birds all day. And I used to get mad at this. But now I look at this and I'm like, okay, well, who is the smart one here? If you think I'm in here playing video games all day and making a living, instead of insulting that, wouldn't you figure out a way to do it? Wouldn't you be like, dude, Marcus, teach me how to play the Angry Birds to make money? And disclaimer, Angry Birds, you don't get paid to make money. That was a joke. But think about that for a minute, right? Think about that. If you're sitting there and you're pissed off because someone else is making money and it seems to be easy and you're working your butt off, instead of being mad at them, figure out what the hell they're doing, right? Figure out what the hell they're doing. So we look at that. We say, I'm going to do this. Now, here's the deal, right? Smart work and paying attention is what makes you rich. Not hard work, smart work and paying attention. If you're not making the money, you're not paying attention. Guys, the clues, the roadmap is out there. It's everywhere. You could literally see what people click on, see what people buy, see what they do. I know what the top 10 selling items on Amazon on Prime Day are. I know by a Google search. I went to Google and I put top 10 Prime Day sales, right? And I looked it up and I found out the Instant Pot sold 300,000. If the Instant Pot sold 300,000 in one day, which is the equivalent of about $17 million in one day or 36 hours or however long it is, are you paying attention? If it sold 17 million in one day, it's probably selling 100,000 every other day. And as an affiliate, if I got 10% of that, that's 10 grand a day. Disclaimer, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. There's no way you're going to sell one at every Instapot, right? You're going to get a portion of this. But think about that. That means there's a big pot of money out there, no pun intended for the Instapot, but there's a big pot of money out there in the Instapot because people are buying it all the time, right? You can see what people are doing. You can figure out what people are listening to, what people are watching, what people are searching for. Guys, it's not rocket science. It's data. You read the data and you understand it and you put stuff in front of them. You make a little guess and you're like, hey, I think these people who like the Instapot would probably like a spatula. Okay, cool. Let's test it out. They didn't like the spatula. Maybe they'll like this other barbecue machine or whatever. Right? Does that make sense to everyone? It's very basic. It's all out there. It's all there. You just have to pay attention. You got to open your eyes, and instead of being like, what's happening, you got to look at it and say, I'm going to understand what's going on. I'm going to look behind the scenes. I'm going to stop being a passive consumer of advertising, and I'm going to start to look at advertising as a marketer, right? Like, I hate recording TV shows because my wife skips all the commercials, and to me, that's the whole point of watching TV. And I watch the commercials so I could see what other advertisers are doing, what other marketers are doing. Okay, very important. So we look at that. Stop being passive, stop being a consumer of advertising, and start flipping it around and looking at it the other way. All right, money mindset or poor mindset number 5. Money is hard to get. How many of you guys think money's hard to get? Like, Marcus, money's hard to get. Right, it's playing hooky, it's over there, it's playing hard to get or whatever. Money's hard to get. Right? All right. For those that think money's hard to get, here is the money mindset equivalent of the poor mindset. And these are going to help you align from where you want to go to where you are now, or where you are now to where you want to go, rather. And we look at that, okay? Here's the deal. Money is everywhere, all the time. Right now, while you're watching this, people are buying things, right? People, I think it's like $250,000 a second or a minute or something insane on Amazon. 4 million people a minute search Google. Probably more now. That was from 2016. So we got to look at this, and we got to say, is it hard to get? No, it's not. People have gotten money in really easy ways. Excuse me. So here's the thing. Money's everywhere all the time. To get what you want, find a way to get others what they want. Okay, so you want to get money? Find a way to give extra value and sell a lot of Instapots or a lot of ebooks or a lot of programs or a lot of stereos or whatever it is. Guys, anything. You could sell whatever the hell you want. There is no limit. Right? There's money, there's transactions going on right now all over the place. So we got to look at that. And we got to say, money's everywhere all the time. To get what I want, I'm going to find a way to get others what they want. Simple or complicated. Now, this could be simple, right? People want a happy face for their website. I can give them a happy face. That's simple. Or people want to know how to solve complex depression problems or whatever. That could be a complicated one. So either way, value, this is important, value is in the eye of the beholder. right? Have you gone onto an art shop and you look at a picture and you're like, why is that $5 million? Seriously, that's $5 million that looks like a third grader painted it. Does. Or maybe you watch something on TV and you're like, how do people watch this? How is this the number one show? Like for me, American Idol, I hate it. It's just a stupid show to me. And people watch it. And it's huge and it sells a lot of Coke. So I can't look at that and be like, no one's going to want American Idol because I don't want to watch it. Well, 20 million people say otherwise, right? Those 20 million people see value in watching it. Those people who are willing to pay $5 million for the painting you don't like, they like that. People that are willing to pay for crazy stuff because your mindset is small and you're looking at it as what do I want, what do I think is valuable, you're not opened up to things that are truly valuable that can make you extremely rich, right? Like reality TV, huge, makes a lot of people rich. I don't like it. I think it's silly, right? If I want TV, I want it to be fake. I want fake TV with actors. But people are obsessed with reality TV, and it makes a lot of money, right? Very, very, very important. Okay. Joe says, I have a cigar for you. Well, I need one that stays lit, probably because I'm talking too much. But thank you. Send them on over. Okay, number 6, poor mindset. If I create enough value, I will get rich. This is interesting, right? Let's think about this for a minute. So if I create enough value, will I get rich? If I go out there and I make 1,000 videos teaching people how to save money, am I going to get rich? Maybe not. I might not. They might just say, hey, thanks for the videos, buddy. It's cool stuff. Good work, bro. Right? Like lots of YouTubers who have way more value on their sites than other people. Right? YouTubers got lots of value. They provide lots of stuff. And some of them make pennies on the dollar. But they're still providing value, Marcus. What's going on? I mean, isn't the whole internet marketing thing to provide value? Well, here's the deal. Money mindset. Create value with a purpose of making money. Every value piece that I create sets up the next thing. Very important. Every value thing that I create sets up for the next thing or what I want to sell. So if I create a video on something, I don't just create a video to help a guy out. We do want to help the guy out, but we also want to make the video to point them to what's going to make us money. Okay, so very important. We're doing value that's based on getting people to what? So like anyone can give stuff away. Anyone can, right? Anyone can give stuff away. Give away knowledge, you can give away money, you can give away whatever. Giving things away and making money is a whole different skill. Learn that one instead. Okay, so many people are focusing on the value providing and stuff like that, and it's good. You should provide value, you should have good products, but if you're not selling stuff, then that's the key, right? If you're not getting rich and you're making stuff of value, you need to restructure it. Okay, poor mindset number 7. There's a lot of reasons making money online is hard or does not work. Therefore, I won't really try. Right? How many of you guys, if you're honest with yourself, you say, I've given this a half-ass effort because of the fact that I don't really think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work because it's hard. And if you're honest with yourself, how many of you guys up until now have given this a half-ass effort? Right? And I'll be honest, I do not always give my 100%. I probably, most of the time, give a half-ass effort. I just happen to be good at the things that I do. That's it, right? But how many of you guys are honest with yourself? You're like, I'm not that good at what I do, and I'm honestly giving it a half-ass effort. Like, I didn't follow up on something. I didn't build something out. I just kind of sat there and expected it to make money, so I'm not getting where I want to go. Okay, so we got to look at that, right? Be honest with yourself. Hey, I was honest, right? So, yeah, like Brian says, honestly, only half-assed it, right? And I'll bet you if everyone truthfully answers this question, truthfully, right, they're going to be like, hey, you know what? I'm half-assing it. Honestly. All right, now here's the deal. When I first started internet marketing, I was obsessed. I became obsessed. I read everything. I did everything. I did not half-ass it. I can honestly say that was a time in my life when I didn't half-ass it. Maybe I was lazy at times, but I didn't half-ass it. I went to work, and I did what I got to do, and I made it work, and I learned what I had to learn. And there was nothing that was going to stand in my way, right? I wasn't out there looking for a course to solve all my problems because they don't. A source will give you the roadmap, but it's up to you to get in the car and drive. Very important. So we got to look at that and we got to focus and we got to really, really, really focus. Here's the deal. Poor mindset. There's a lot of reasons I'm not that making money online is hard or it really doesn't work. Therefore, I won't really try. If you're half-assing it, listen to this. Money mindset is all I need is one or good 2 ideas for this to work. Right? When I first started trying to quit drinking, I had a hard time. Back in 2012 to 2013, I had tried. I really, really tried, but there was a block, mindset block, whatever you want to call it, right? You could read all about that if you want. And if you struggle with alcohol, go to talksober.com. We got tons of videos. I made a lot of value in videos for that. But when I was trying to stop drinking, I was looking at it and I was like, man, all these things, the stuff I'm trying isn't working for some reason. And then someone in rehab told me, he's like, it was our coach guy, and he's like, hey, you only need like 1 or 2 ideas to beat this. That's it. You only need 1 or 2 good ideas, and you need to follow through on those 2 good ideas. Same thing with money. You only need 1 or 2 good things to beat this. You don't need to solve the whole puzzle. You don't need to understand everything about internet marketing. Like me, I don't understand Amazon. I don't really understand Facebook. Instagram is a mystery to me. I don't understand Twitter. I think Twitter is like, I just don't get it, right? So I don't understand a lot of things, but I have a few things that I understand, and I do them, and those things work for me. So you only need a few things to work, or 1 or 2 to make it work. Okay, very important. Money mindset number 8, or poor mindset number 8. Being rich is not spiritual or morally good. Right? How many of you guys, if you're honest with yourself, you're like, yeah, at one point I kind of believed that. If I had a lot of money, maybe God wouldn't like me or whatever. The mindset equivalent with this is money has nothing to do with God. God has nothing to do with money. And there's a Caesar quote for those of you who are like, well, the Bible says money is the root of all evil. Well, look at what Jesus said about money in the Bible, if you like that kind of stuff. He took the coin, and they were all pissed off about paying taxes. And he took the coin from the guy, and he's like, whose face is on this coin? And he said, well, it's Caesar's. And he says, well, go give Caesar what's Caesar's. Now, a lot of people look at that and they say, well, that means you should pay your taxes. That's what that means. Well, you should pay your taxes. I mean, come on, that's like the law of the land. You should do that. But I think it means something else. I think what he was trying to say is the picture on this coin is Caesar's. This is made up by Caesar. Why do you care about something that has someone else's picture on it? Go give it to the damn guy if he wants it. Or think about that for a minute. Like, a lot of people are pissed off about paying taxes here. I know back in the day I used to get really angry about paying taxes and everything. But it's on loan anyway, right? It's like it's not really my stuff. It's just what's used for accounting. That's it. So we got to look at that. We got to understand, right? Think about that for a minute. That'll change the way you think about stuff, because a lot of people are grumpy and angry when it comes to money, and you don't have to be. Right? If you're grumpy and angry towards money, how much of it do you think you're going to get? If you think money's bad, you're going to want to get rid of it as quick as possible. And these are the things that are happening in your subconscious mind. Right? And if you start to change them, things are going to start to change. All right. So being rich is not spiritual good. We did that. Number 9, progress versus perfection. Now, a lot of people look at things and they want something perfect. Right? They're like, I got to set up the perfect website. I got to have the perfect niche. I got to have the perfect offer. Everything's got to be perfect. Nothing I've ever done and set up has been perfect. Right? You guys have been through my courses. They're not perfect. Sometimes a video doesn't work. Sometimes a link doesn't work. They're not perfect. But I put them up there and they work. My old sites, sometimes the link didn't work. My new sites, sometimes the link isn't perfect. Sometimes the image doesn't work. But is it out there enough to get a result? That's the key. You can always perfect stuff later. But a lot of people have this progress versus perfection, or they want perfection. I'm going to say, hey, just set it up. Make it work. Test it out. And again, make sure your disclaimers and all your stuff's up. Don't go out there and half-ass things in the wrong way, right? Do it in the right way. Okay, number 10. This is a big one, right? And a lot of people are guilty of this. A lot of people who watch my YouTube say this. They're like, Marcus, why would I invest in learning when it's free? Now, I'll be the first to tell you. Everything that I teach you online, you could probably find free somewhere. It might take you about 20 years to find it. It might take you a lot of trial and error to go through it, but you can. You can learn internet marketing for free. Okay? It's out there. You go out there. You learn it. You can do it. So why would you pay for anything? Marcus, why would I pay for learning if it's free? Well, you pay for learning. Again, it's the thing about holding on to your money. I don't want to invest in another thing. What if it's not right? What if it's a scam? What if it's this? Well, do your homework and you'll find out that they're not. And again, I did a video about how you follow the money trail to see if it's something that's legitimate or not. So we got to look at that. So you would want to invest because, one, this guy's set the whole thing out for you. Like, I've gone through this. I've done this for almost 20 years. I've seen what people click on. I've seen what people do. We can help you, right? So is it worth it to save yourself the time? Is it worth it to save yourself the effort of, hey, you know what? Before you run your paid ad, change your site this way. Trust me on it, change your site. How much would that be worth to you? Now, a lot of people will say, hey, well, Marcus, that only took you 2 minutes to say that. What's that worth? Well, what's it worth for a doctor to know what's wrong with you in 2 minutes? Are you going to sit there and be like, I want an itemized bill? Or are you going to be like, okay, now let's get rid of the problem? Right? Very important. A lot of people get really silly when it comes to buying stuff. People will go out there and they'll spend money. Like the other day, we went to a restaurant here in town, and it was like $100 for just me and my wife. And it was terrible. I was like, I don't mind paying the money, but like, I wouldn't pay $1 for this food. This stuff sucked, right? And I was like, how do they get good reviews? To each his own. Value again, right? Like, you look at it. You look at value, like the most successful restaurant in the world is McDonald's. Is that valuable food? To me, no. Not even really edible food. But think about that, right? Because you're thinking about value as this big thing, and it's like, doesn't have to be. They want quick food that tastes exactly the same every time in a little wax pack, right? That's what they want, so therefore they provide the value. Most successful restaurant. But at any rate, we spent the money on the thing, and a lot of people will go to a restaurant and spend money on crappy food, but they won't spend $300 or $1,000 on learning this business, right? They won't do it because they're like, hey, you know what? What do we do? What do we do? Okay, we got to focus. Got to focus. All right, so invest, right? Whatever it is, with me, with someone else, whoever you like, whoever's got what you need, go get it and follow the plan. That's what you got to do, right? Stop saying, well, I can learn. I know I can do it on my own. That's a pain. Like, I built a desk on my own because I wanted to see if I could do it. But I didn't sit there trying to, like, save money and build the desk. I just wanted to do a craft, and it's a pretty crappy desk. It's kind of cool, though. I like the homemade look. But at any rate, you got to look at this. You got to understand. You got to focus. Right? Very, 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 very important. Okay, so invest in what you need to do. Number 11, I don't need a mentor or a guide. Well, I've thought that at times, and the times when I thought I didn't need a mentor or guide were the times I made the least. Right? So I can do this on my own. But for you, you got to focus. You got to focus. You got to say, hey, who's got the result I want? If someone could help you, like, save 6 months, right, so let's say someone's out there and they're like, hey, I'm going to save you 6 months. We'll help you do this. Like the guy on there who's like, I got a goal in 12 months. With your course, I can do it in 6. Okay, if you could save 6 months and you can make like $500 a month in those 6 months just off of the time you saved, right? Is it worth $3,000 to buy a product? Well, yeah, it just paid for itself. Right? Think about that for a minute. Right? So how many of you guys out there are like, well, I have the money to buy something. I just don't want to buy anything. Well, whose fault is that and who's being silly? Right? Go get what you want. Like if I wanted to go and learn psychology, I'd probably go to a college. Right? I'd pay for a college. I'd go there. One of my kids wants to learn digital animation, and we send her to the digital animation school. It's going to cost me a fortune, but we're going to send her there because that's what she wants. That's what she wants to learn. Right? Very important. So if you want to learn something, go to the guy who knows it. Right? She could try to learn it on herself, and it's going to take a long time, and, she'll be doing things wrong the whole time or whatever. She can shortcut her goal by a big time by investing in what's going to work for her. All right. Number 12, if I set something up and it doesn't work, I failed. How many of you guys think this? You're like, Marcus, I set up a site, and it didn't work, therefore I failed. I failed. You didn't fail. You just found something that didn't work. Find out a way to make it work. If your site doesn't work, if Google doesn't rank it, if people don't buy something, whatever you do, right, look at it as results. The problem is from the time we're born, we look at things as failure and success. A, F, A, F. You got an A, you got an F. You got a B, you did all right. Now, when we get into life, when we get into internet marketing, there are no B, C's, and D's. They're just A and F, right? And we look at it. We're like, oh, I got an A, I made money. I got an F, I didn't make money. But there are B's and C's in there. Right? You could have a B where it's like, hey, I didn't make money, but I did get 5 people to opt into my list. Good. Focus on that. Follow through. Say, why did they opt in? What did they do? What did they click? Why didn't they buy? Maybe I need a different offer. Maybe I'll put something else here. Those are the things you should focus on, not all the other stuff. Very important. So if you set something up and it doesn't work, don't stop there. Keep going. Because it's like that guy in the book where he was digging for gold, and finally he gave up and he sold his land. Right? He dug a big hole, digging for gold, digging for gold, digging for gold for years. He sold his land. The guy who came after him dug for 3 feet, got gold. 3 feet. Like, he was 3 feet away and he gave up. Right? How many of you guys are 3 feet away and you're giving up, or whatever it is, right? And I got to tell you, all of you are 3 feet away if you really, really think about it and you really pay attention and you really look at it objectively. All right, number 13. If I keep doing what I'm doing, eventually I'll get rich. Now, this is silly, right? If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be where you're at, right? If you keep building sites and not buying products and not finding mentors and not doing stuff, you're going to get where you're at right now because it's more of the same, right? If I keep not going to the gym, I'm going to keep not getting thin, right? Or whatever it is. So we got to focus. We got to focus. Now, a couple other things I'll leave you with after these. One of them is the thinking that wants to make money. So the idea, the thinking you have right now that wants to make money is not the same thinking that will make you money. I want you to let that sink in. Okay, everyone let that sink in for a minute. The thinking right now that says, I want to make money, is not the same thinking that's going to actually make you money. Something has to change. Something has to change. You got to learn something. You got to focus. You got to change your thinking. All right, very, very important. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed these 13 money mindsets. If you did, type a 10 in the box. If you didn't, type a 1. And let's go ahead and take some questions. Any questions on this stuff so far? And then we'll go through some options for getting started today as well. All right, so any questions about this? And then we'll talk about how you can get started with some of my training. If you guys like my stuff, I would highly recommend it because my stuff has been thought out. One of the differences between my programs and other programs is I give you the starting point. Okay, a lot of stuff out there, they're going to say, hey, go for your passion, go for something you're interested in, but they don't really give you a starting point, a niche, a place to say, this is what I'm going to do. What we do is we give you that. Right, that's the important part here. So if you're looking at getting started with me, I would go to our best program, which my most successful students go for, which is a high-ticket niche program. This is a program where I actually go through and I pick your niche for you. So if you don't know where to start, and you're like, Marcus, I have no idea where to start. I don't know what to do. I just want to make money online. Get it over at highticketniches.com. Sign up. Okay, after you sign up, come on over to me and be like, hey, Marcus, I don't know what niche to pick. Can you pick one? And I'll ask you a few questions. We'll pick you a good one. We'll give you the domain name. The domains are usually worth $300 to $1,000. Some of them are worth like $1,800 according to GoDaddy. Now, I don't know what you'll be able to sell these for, but that's the appraisal based on GoDaddy, which is like the biggest domain seller in the world. So we're going to go through and look at that. So highticketniches.com is where you want to go. Sam says, how long does it usually take? It's usually between 2 and 4 weeks. 2 weeks is the low side. 4 weeks is the high side, sometimes more depending on your personal issues. Sometimes a hosting code doesn't work or whatever. But if you guys get us everything we need, usually it's pretty quick. All right, so you could get that at highticketniches.com. We're going to set up your site. We're going to find your niche. We're going to give you the valuable domain name. We're going to put some content on your site. We're going to put all the software on your site. There's like $700 worth of software we load on your site. We're going to structure your site. We're going to give you a custom theme. We're going to give you a custom layout. We're going to build the thing for you, and I'm going to tell you the offers to run. I'm going to tell you how to get traffic, and I'm going to walk you through it. Really cool. That is by far the best program you can get if you're looking to start. That's over at highticketniches.com. Okay? If you have the means to get that program, go get it. Okay? Stop being on the fence. Just go get it. Let me help you get where you want to go by giving you the roadmap. Very important. Okay? Sam says it's fully worth it. Or Andy says it's fully worth it. So cool. All right. So that is the best place to start to get in there and make that work. Okay. Next, Kevin says he got his and he's moving forward with it. Awesome. All right. So highticketniches.com. If you're looking at signing up with me, you want to get the thing that's like, hey, what do you recommend? That's what I recommend. That's why I made the course. That's why I made that. Now, in addition to your high ticket niche, we're also going to give you my training software. That's a $300 value as well. Now, if you're the do-it-yourself guy, or if you're kind of on a budget, we have the Simple Sites course. Now, the Simple Sites course is something I've been working on for about 10 years now. I've been teaching marketing for 10 years. I've been doing marketing for almost 20. And I built this course in a way to really, really help you understand how affiliate marketing works, how internet marketing works, and shortcut your way to success so that you understand the pieces without having to go through the whole thing at one time and then start, right? This isn't a course that you're like going through and then working. You're like going through a part, working, going through a part, working, going through a part, get some results, going through a part, get some results. And you go through and you make it work in a really easy way. Now, if you want to do that, my training course, right now you'll get the 2017 version. You're also going to get the upgrade to Simple Sites 10, which is coming out. It is our 10-year anniversary Simple Sites program. It's going to be $1,000, so if you want to get it now, you're going to save a lot of money. You'll get 17 and you'll get the upgrade when it's out, which is awesome. Upgrade's going to be cool. So that's like our do-it-yourself. Again, high-ticket niches, if you can afford it, at highticketniches.com, simplesitesbonus.com for the software. And then if you're totally on a budget, I would go for marcusmentor.me. Now, this is if you're on a budget and you're like, Marcus, I just need someone to kind of guide me. I need some videos, some PDFs to learn this stuff. We have that for you. Now, also, if you're a customer that's been with me a while and your support has like expired, we usually give you like 30 or 90 days support. If it's expired, go to marcusmentor.me, sign up, and it'll re-up your support, your access to your plugins and tools and everything like that. So, really cool. To recap, high-ticket niches is the way to go. You should all be getting a high-ticket niche. There should be no excuse. That's going to help you. highticketniches.com. Okay? And you can learn all about those programs at those specific places, highticketniches.com, simplesitesbonus.com, and marcusmentor.me. If you're watching this on my site, you can also see these on the side as well. Okay, a couple of questions coming in. Let's see what we have here. Sir, if I grab email from Google about any particular niche, will it work if I shoot all people an email? No, you don't want to do that. That's spam. You never want to do that. So don't get emails unless the people specifically ask to be contacted by you. Okay? And we teach you these things so that you understand how to do it in a real world way. Okay? All right, so let's take some other questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it like kind of fired you up to be like, hey, I got to change these mindsets. I'm going to get a program. I'm going to get in there, and we're going to start working. And by the way, for those of you that do get a high-ticket niche today, I bought about, I think it was 7 really, really, really good ones this week. I mean, these ones are kick butt. Domains are super valuable, everything like that. If you want one of those, sign up on this call and say, Marcus, I want one of the 7 niches. Okay. Can we affiliate for you on Facebook groups? You can do that if you want. I would join my Facebook group and then ask us on there, and we'll give you some stipulations and things to what you can do. All right, so other questions, type them in. And while you guys get signed up, again, highticketniches.com. I got 7 really good niches this week that you definitely want to take a look at. All right, cool. Any other questions? Take them from there. And if you guys do get signed up for a high-ticket niche while we're here on the call, just let me know in the box. That way I know how many we're at. Is this a Cuban cigar? No, actually, I found these local Miami rolled cigars, and they're actually really good. This brand is, I don't even smoke anything else anymore. I like these. I tried a whole bunch. I bought like $200 worth of miscellaneous cigars the other day, and I just keep coming back to these. Okay, DeCall, is Simple Sites course about CPA? Yes, it is all about CPA affiliate marketing. That's the main slant. Organic traffic versus paid traffic? Well, organic traffic's free. Paid is paid. So, I mean, we go into those in the course, and I also go into them here on my YouTube as well. All the gold is in a vault in California. I don't think so. And, that's another funny thing. Like, you look at the value of gold. Gold is only valuable because people think it's valuable. Like, it's the only thing you could really use it for is, like, dental stuff. But other than that, there is no inherent value other than people think it is. Diamonds. People think diamonds are valuable. They're really not. There's an abundance, right? They sold you on that. So these are little beliefs that creep in, and you think these things, right? So, yeah. All right, so any other questions? What's our Facebook group? You can go to my Facebook group at joinmarcus.com, right at the top of the screen there. All right. Okay, Oscar says, how do we backlink, piggyback off YouTube videos? Is it ethical? I don't know what you mean by backlink piggyback. It would have to be your YouTube video. Like, you should be making YouTube videos. Okay, does Simple Sites explain the technical part? Yes, it has a ton of tech stuff. There's a part called setting up shop that has all the tech stuff. It walks you through everything. And we actually custom developed WordPress plugins that do all the stuff for you. So like one guy was asking me yesterday, he's like, so after I put my list name in your plugin, how do I attach Aweber to my site? And I'm like, that's it. Like, you did. The way we made the plugin, you just put your list name. He's like, really? That's it? I'm like, yeah, that's all you do. So these plugins are going to make the tech stuff way easier. We give those to you in the Simple Sites course as well. Kevin says anything is only worth what someone will pay for it. Not necessarily. I have things that are worth a lot to me, and people probably wouldn't pay for them, just personal, sentimental stuff. So, if you delineate everything to a dollar value, your world's going to be very black and white. And personally, I don't like that. So things are worth whatever you decide it's worth. Now, in business, in internet marketing, yeah, that's kind of true. It's worth what people will pay for it. All right, so any other questions, type them in the box. Okay, Andy says he even guides you on how to get approved with affiliate networks. Yeah, people are blown away at it. It's a 10-minute video that shows you how to get approved. And they're like, wow, Marcus, I just did what you said, and I'd been denied all these years, and now they approved me. Really cool. Okay, Joe says, can you teach us about an affiliate marketing for Warrior Plus? You can set it up for us, and you don't mind. Can I ask how much would that cost? Why Warrior Plus? Like, why are you stuck to that? Personally, I find it kind of limiting. It's good. A lot of people use it, but to me, it's limiting. Can I have one big website on a subject or no? Yes, you can have a big website on a subject. That would be considered an authority site. Okay. Joe, we have a plugin partner program that I think you'd be perfect for. So what I would do is I would go to pcmoneymaking.com, get us on live chat, or put a ticket in and say you want the plugin partner program. That would actually work extremely well if you want to use the Warrior Plus thing. And we'll help you do that. We'll help you set up a back end to it as well. All right, so any other questions? Type them in the box. Okay, cool. Tony says, is there a section on Simple Sites on how to set up PLR site? I have tons of PLR. I need to know how to convert it. Well, your PLR would be your offer. Okay, so that's just your offer. So like when I say put your offer here, that's it. You just put your offer there. So the private label rights product would be your offer. Joe, yeah, this will work on all of them. So I would say look at the plugin partner program. This is where I give you one of the plugins that I've developed. Okay, so like Squeeze Blogs Pro. It's a huge plugin. Hundreds of thousands of people have downloaded it. And we've sold tons of copies of it. Right, so we give you a plugin like that. It's one that I've developed for the marketing world. You would take it over, we'd build your website, and you would sell it, and you'd keep all the products. It's kind of like you're buying the rights to it, and you'd be the only one who owns the rights to it. In the history, when people have done that, if they really work it, they do extremely well. It's not something I advertise a lot because I only have so many plugins at any given time. But right now I have like 2 or 3 that I could do. So if anyone is interested in taking over a plugin business, get me on live chat you can actually get me on live chat now. on any of my sites, or you could go to pcmoneymaking.com, put a ticket in, and we'll give you the link for that. And you'll find that it's actually pretty reasonably priced. All right, any other questions about the mindset stuff? And we'll take it from there. All right. How big can Authority website be? How many pages? It could be as many as you want, or as little as you want. So yeah, you could have a huge one, like Quora or Wikipedia. Those are like authority sites, and they're huge. Or you could just have a small one on like how to get your kids to stop throwing temper tantrums or whatever, which, by the way, is a niche that I've actually made money in, which is cool. What's the best path to get started on a limited budget? How limited are we talking? Like, if you can get started at the high-ticket niche, that's where I would start. If you can't, I would get the simple sites. If you can't do that, do the Marcus Mentor Me. All right, Liz says, new day, new mindset. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks for joining. I know this is your first webinar with us, so hope you liked it. Hope to see you again. All right, so any other questions, we'll take those, and then we'll call it a wrap. But whichever way you get started with something. That way we can help you get on the right path, right? You're not going to get where you want to be unless you take action. And I hope that my videos here help you take action. I hope you're getting value out of these and understanding, like, the real world stuff. Because a lot of people don't go through the real world, here's how to do it, right? They tell you what to do, or, you know, they don't really tell you how to do it. And I hope that you get value in this and you understand. And I hope to see you in one of our courses as well. All right, so other questions as we roll along. Okay, how to make money initially without investing. Go sell stuff. Yeah, I mean, just go sell stuff. Now, why would you not want to invest? Right? Like, what's the hiccup? I remember before I made my first dime online, I invested in learning, right? I started making money with what I learned right away. So maybe put yourself in a, I have to do it, right? I got to do it. Now I invested in this thing. Now I got to make it work. Right, that's how I look at things. I'm like, I do this, now I got to make it work. A lot of people try to get around, like, buying a course or whatever, and you can if you want, but why? Right, why would you do that? Why don't you go and get what you need to get and get the help you need, which is important, okay? So cool. All right. And most people don't invest in internet marketing stuff because they don't want other people to think they're silly and they don't want to fail. If you think you're going to fail when you buy my product, don't buy my product. I mean, pretty simple, right? If you think you're going to fail from the get-go, then, you know, you need to focus. Okay, Guri says, can you give us one program that is working to begin a new campaign? Yes, go to highticketniches.com. That program is the one to give you to start a new campaign, right? All right, cool. So any other questions, type them in. And we do go through how to set up your campaigns and everything, so we'll show you that as well. Robert says use the free stuff. Yeah, the free stuff's good too. But again, like, you're going to have to go through it at your own setup. You're going to have to go through it at your own like, structure. Like, what I've done is I've structured it. And this is a tip that I'm going to give you that's really big. Structured information can make you rich. Like, even if you don't create your own information, if you structure it right, that's everything, right? Because all I'm doing is structuring information in a way that I want you to go through it, which is really cool. You can do that in your niche and make a lot of money if done right. All right, cool. So any other questions, let me know. And I think my drink is still cold, I hope. All right, cool. So doesn't look like any other questions. Tony says always informative and mind-blowing. Thanks. Thanks, Tony. Glad to have you. And I think we're right about ready to wrap up. So whichever way you go, whether it's highticketniches.com, which is highly recommended, if you can afford it, do it. Guys, just do it. Trust me, you're going to get a good niche. We're going to go through. We're going to help you make it work. If you need something a little less, go to simplesitesbonus.com. If you're on a total budget, go to marcusmentor.me. Very, very, very important. Joe says, is there anything that you would recommend for the best marketing? I don't understand that question. Okay. Brighton says, "Can I talk to you about your 10-year anniversary type thing?" Yeah, sure. Hop on live chat. I'm there now. So if you go to any of my websites, you could go to highticketniches.com, Simple Sites Bonus. You're going to see a little button on the bottom that says Marcus is on live chat, or it might be a link that says Marcus is on live chat. Just click that and talk to us. We're there right now, and we'll talk to you before you buy your stuff or after or whatever you want, and we'll help you make it work. But again, here's to a new mindset. Here's to making it work. Let's make some money. Let's have fun. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.